This is a geography we're taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster. UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotellaconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning. Eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort, and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person who recommends me to another person who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala,
This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Good morning and thank you so much for being with us on UBC TV. If you've been with us all the way from 6:30, we do appreciate. That's when we began our live broadcast, the Good Morning Uganda. Now we are in the extension, which is Good Morning Uganda Extra. I'm Robert Chirabonyonyitono, and usually I have guests or a guest with whom we discuss very pertinent issues of national concern, all those that you must take concern because at one time you may need their information. Now this morning we are going to be looking at enhancing that is cross-border trade in agroecological produce in Uganda and East Africa. Basically, it is issues regarding trade. And with me on set, I have Hakim Bali Renage, who happens to be the national chairperson of the Eastern and Southern Africa Small Scale Farmers Forum. Good morning, Hakim, and welcome.
Good morning, viewers, and thank you very much, moderator, for hosting us today. My name is always simple, but I find some people are failing to pronounce it well. I'm Badiraine, or Badiraine Hakim, and as he said, the national chairperson of Eastern and Southern Africa Small Scale Farmers Forum, ESA for Uganda. But I'm also a small-scale farmer myself, and I come from Mayuge district in the eastern part of the country. You are most welcome to today's morning show. I hope listeners and viewers sit steady and wait for the coming views from all the panelists who are here. Thank you.
Now, just next to me, I have Mbatude Zuhra Badru, who happens to be a trader from Busia, that is the Uganda-Kenya border. Mbatude, good morning and welcome.
Good morning. Thank you so much. My name is Mbatude Zuhra Badru. My father gave me Zuhra, meaning something very beautiful. So I'm the chairperson of Busia Women Cross-Border Cereals Traders Cooperative. That's at the border between Busia, Kenya and Busia, Uganda. And I'm a trader. I deal in produce, beans, maize, groundnuts, simsim, and any other produce. What is on markets, what we go with. Yes. I'm also a mother. Oh, four.
Okay. I don't want to, I won't ask the other. Okay. That comes with being a mother. Now, let's, on the extreme end, I have Emmanuel Atwine, who is representing, that is the Commissioner Trade, the Ministry of Trade, Cooperatives and Industries. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning and welcome. Here, I want to welcome all the, and greet all the viewers here who are viewing this program. I am from the Ministry of Trade, Industry and Cooperatives, a ministry that is charged with promoting trade, industry and cooperatives, mainly from the Department of External Trade, which is charged with increasing the level of export within the country, so as to rhyme and target achievement of the tenfold growth strategy, where the ministry is very, very core. Thank you.
Well, now having known the people I have on set this morning, we'll dive into the enhancing of cross-border trade in agroecological produce in Uganda and East Africa. But before we go any further, two of my guests, it is obvious who they are and what they do. She's a trader, he's from the ministry. But I'll go to Hakim. When we talk about the Eastern and South African Small-Scale Farmers Forum, what is this? For my guests to better understand where you're coming from.
Okay. Thank you again, moderator. Eastern and Southern Africa Small-Scale Farmers Forum is a forum for which was initiated, led and is owned by the small-scale farmers And we are 23 years old since our formation in 2002 in South Africa during the World Sustainable Development Summit. I think this is where the real things started. The discussion about the real agenda, the Sustainable Development Goal started during that time. So we are one of the largest small-scale farmers network in Eastern Southern Africa, because we are in 17 countries, and it is a membership organization. But basically in Uganda, we are also the largest small-scale farmers network, because we are covering more than 54 districts. Basically, we had fewer districts, but these days when you are in this district, in 2 years, you'll find that the same district, which was 1, it is now 4. So they continued multiplying. So we are now covering over 54 districts. This is where we are. And our headquarters of the region is in Tanzania, but for Uganda, our headquarters are in Ntinda. Why did we think of coming together to make sure that the voices of the small-scale farmers is heard by the policymakers, the implementers, but as well for us to be able to contribute meaningfully into the policy processes and the development? Because before, the small-scale farmers existed and they were there, but when it came to policy development and issues, we were not part and parcel. And this one brought a vacuum when it came to implementation. Policies are developed, but when it came to implementation, they are not implemented very well. Why? Because we were not part and parcel during the policy development. And this one was a danger. Even now, policies which are developed when our contribution is less, you find that they become hard for the government to realize it's what its targets. So that was a very big reason as why we formed ourselves too during that time. And this one has now enhanced our visibility, because by that time small-scale farmers, okay, they knew we existed, but our contribution was not felt much as we've been feeding the world, been feeding everyone, because most of the produce and product which are traded and which are on the shelves of the market is from the small-scale farmers. So this was very important that no, we are the stakeholders, we are the doctors, we are the people who feed everyone. Why is it that when it comes to looking at issues which regard the citizens of a certain specific country, we are not on the table of decision making? So this is the reason as why we thought it was very important that we also at the table of decision making, and also our contribution is heard and felt. This is why we started to form ourselves.
Yes. Very interesting. Indeed, numbers matter and count at the table of decision making. Now, let me quickly move to the person representing the Commission. When you talk about policy, first one would want to know, as the Ministry of Trade, Cooperatives and Industries, small-scale farmers, how relevant are they when it comes to cross-border trade?
Thank you very much. Small-scale farmers contribute enormously to trade, to the export development, to export growth. When you look at the statistics within the region, for example, small-scale farmers' contribution of the informal trade across borders is about, to the total export growth, is about 30%. And mainly this comes from the small-scale farmers. We understand that these small-scale farmers, all traders, many times have challenges. And these challenges, like he has said, we work together as government, specifically for the Ministry of Trade. All our policies that we do, our strategies, even our negotiations, by the way, right now, when we are doing trade negotiations at the East African Community, COMESA, at African Continental Free Trade Area, we strongly involve all groups, including small-scale cross-border traders. To even concretize their relevancy, we formed most of them into cross-border traders associations at all borders. And we only did this, we also put in place what we call trade information desk officers, and actually have gone ahead to also have now specifically for the youth for the women to understand the gender sensitivity, as you know it, gender inclusive. We have put in place those cooperatives for women, cross-border traders associations, and even the programs that we do and the projects that we do at the borders, we have given these small-scale traders who comprise of farmers. We have given them facilities at the borders to ensure that we streamline, to ensure that we, even where there's informality, we formalize, and we grow together as a country. You know, achievement of the 10-fold growth strategy, which is aimed at achieving about 500 billion US dollars in the next, and then by 2040, cannot be achieved if we leave some groups not facilitated. I must say that we are revising the national trade policy right now, and as we revise the national trade policy, we have ensured that we make it all inclusive. We have brought on board the associations, the small and big associations that are involved in trade, to ensure that that trade policy, before it is passed, is all inclusive, and by that is the cabinet directive that we are. So I want to allay the fears of my friend here and my brother, that we are doing all inclusive policies, and I think it's because of the realization at that time that we were leaving behind a specific group which was contributing about 30%, or even 30% now, I mean on the export. But when you look at total other trade within the country, the even figures go much higher. Thank you.
Well, now having known the policy being worked on and the relevance of these small-scale farmers, I want to go to the lady in business. At least we get to hear your experience. You're in this business, you're buying, you're selling. What has your experience been like?
Thank you. The experience in business has been both good and bad. Where you find that we have several challenges. We have, for example, sometimes we have a challenge of, can I say, limited information? Yes, we have limited information about agroecological products, and also the trade rules, how to transact, what type of documents do you need to cross over, is a challenge. We also have conmen who are there, the brokers, they keep on cheating the traders, the exchange rate fluctuation, and also we have harassment. There's a challenge in harassment. Sometimes the officials force you to pay bribes, and sometimes they take your goods without reason, and even the clearing process sometimes it takes long and delays. So we need to have trainings for the officials at customs, for officials at the border points, in a way that they can treat traders fairly without harassing them. Another challenge is that we have the non-tariff barriers. Yes, the non-tariff barriers, they keep on bothering. The non-tariff barriers, not necessarily about tax, but we have other non-tariff barriers, like the jam of the trucks. Sometimes the network is slow. Yes, and also the bureaucracy. A lot of bureaucracy. A local woman cannot understand those papers. It's hard for a local woman to know those documents there. So those are some of the barriers that they have. What do we need? The thing that we need is, first of all, to have a simplified trade regime. They should follow it, and also enforcement and monitoring. What do I mean by that? You do the enforcement and monitoring. We ensure that all procedures are followed without being biased. Putting up desks like the women desk at the one-stop border point. And I've also faced a challenge of weak implementation of simplified trade procedures. We have the officials, but they delay, and you wonder why. Some of them, when they go for lunch, they come back late and you're seated there waiting. Then the policies, the unharmonized policies, you wake up from nowhere and they tell you that the goods like maize, I deal in maize, I'm a processor, and in our cooperative we even have youths. Yes, we have youths, we provide jobs for the youths. We also have the disabled. Yes, we don't leave them out. Now, when we are doing business, you find that we get challenges in terms of can I say, those documents, and we have to use sometimes clearing agents who underestimate the products, and that one is a challenge. Then we have another challenge of the preservatives. They bring in aflatoxins. We have the preservative that you put, a chemical that you put in maize, and the maize dries instantly, and it's brought by the Kenyan people. By the end of the day, they will start saying that Ugandan food is toxic, is poisonous. But also this lack of information would go to the grassroots, go to cooperatives, farmer groups, down there, their associations, disseminate the information about agroecological trade and also the trade procedures, the tradable goods, and also empower them not to be harassed. A person is ignorant, but when you know you're right, you cannot be harassed. So that's what I see several times that we go through as traders. Thank you so much.
What the traders go through, harassment, the non-tariff barriers, and of course she said when she talked about the preservatives that later we see things being condemned not to enter a certain country because there are aflatoxins. Now this brings me back to the small farmers. Now you've rightly told us that you have to form groups to have a voice and of course to push for certain policies here and there. Now since your inception, what can you account for as success?
Thank you very much. It was also a struggle because the first thing, there are very many small-scale farmers, as everyone can witness, but mobilizing ourselves to have a common voice, that was the first struggle. But I can say that is a success because as I sit here as a small-scale farmer, it wasn't happening. You could have hosted very many shows here on UBC, but I can ask you, how many small-scale farmers have you ever hosted to speak about their challenges or success? So by mobilizing ourselves and our voices is hard, and we are now here speaking over national television. That is a very big success because this is what we've been looking for. How can our voices be heard by everyone, stakeholders, especially people into the policy processes? Now we have implementers here. We have the stakeholders here. And now those who are listening, the policymakers are also there, and it's going to take feedback to the ministry. So that is that's the first success. However, in terms of, in relation to today's theme about the agroecological products, this is a very, very, very challenging situation because these people here, they do not have any mandate on when we are producing. They receive what we have produced, and the consumers have no choice. What they meet on the stalls is what they take home to eat, and this is where we have the dangers of getting toxins, getting contaminated products. So this is where our emphasis has been, saying to avoid this, because we are into a liberalized economy. No one can stop everyone to do what they wish. So to mitigate somehow or to reduce on these incidences of aflatoxins, contaminated food, we thought the only strategy was to go agroecological. And this is where we have a challenge. When you say agroecology, what does it mean? What does it mean? When we say agroecology, we are looking at the farmers and the people within a certain setting to look at what they have within their ecosystem and utilize it to produce, whether food, whether livestock, whatever, not looking at using or sourcing input from outside. And when you are sourcing, inputs from outside, you must have knowledge on how to use it. This is why you have dangers. The farmers are producing conventional. Conventional farming is not agroecological because it involves using chemical inputs, use chemical fertilizers, use chemical pesticides, and the handling of these chemicals is where we have fallen shortage of producing products on the market which are not safe for consumption, because the way the farmers take it, it is not the way it has been prescribed. So in agroecological means of production, we encourage that it is very possible. You know, sometimes they were saying agroecology is backward, that is not the way to go. There are products which are produced in this country and you cannot even touch a chemical to produce it. Banana, pineapple, coffee, cassava, sweet potato, to mention but a few. But where you usually have a challenge is where the product is trading in maize, because they want it to dry very quickly. So then they bring in other things from production. So how are we doing this to make sure that we call this a success? We are looking at mobilizing the communities into what we call the community agroecology schools. The communities come together and look, identify the challenges within the community. Why is it that the products which are going on the market, they are saying they are bad, that kind of thing? Then they find a solution and seek for technical advice, maybe from the extension and whatever. The other way, we have also looked at the future people, the pupils in the school, because these are going to be the future adults of tomorrow. So what we do, we go into the schools and form what we call agroecology clubs in the schools, in that these young people can also appreciate what is agroecology and have the basics. We have demonstration gardens in the schools, we have that kind of thing. We poems in that, we encourage them, that kind of thing. Then the other part which is in line with her and the ministry is the agroecology business hub. So this agroecology business hub, we go to the farmer groups, especially the one into business, and find out which capacities are they lacking. Do they lack the capacity in agribusiness to develop the agribusiness system? Or they have already developed, but they are lacking market linkages. This is when we can announce, she's here, she can buy your products, which are agroecological. Then we link them to the market. Some of them are already there, but they are lacking financial support. Then we link them to the financial institutions. That is the agroecology business hub. That's one aspect, is a success we're talking. And we also have the online business, where we sell our products online. We help them to add value, and also to make sure that it is also observing the standards, because this is where we have the challenge. But what is it that we can call safe product? It must have been certified. And the bureaucracies through these people, and the cost of getting a product, again, it is organic. This is not possible for many of the small scale farmers. So for those who can manage it, go for it. Now the remaining products which are not using inputs, synthetic inputs and other things, those are the products. They are not conventional, they are not certified and observing the standards, but they are there on the market. These are the products we call agroecological, because literally when you check them, they do not have chemical residues within themselves. These are the products we call agroecological. Even the organic products which are being certified, they also agroecological, but they just have standards and they already certified. So these are products which are agroecological. Now the other part which we can register as a success is that we thought that what is it that there is no more farmers and people understand what is agroecological. Extension. You find that most of the extension workers who are giving extension are more conventional. The universities, the colleges have been training more of the extension worker in convention. So we thought, there's a gap here. So we've decided to partner with some universities, especially the National University, to develop the agroecology curriculum. Next year, the university will be enrolling people at postgraduate, PhD, and masters in agroecology, such that in the future we shall have people who are extension, who are pro-agroecology, not the way it is now, because that is also a gap. There's a gap when you do not have people who are already paid by the government and they are within the community. It is only we who are into the civil society talking about agroecology. The farmers got conflicting information. The extension worker is saying that is backward. You go for the synthetic. Tomorrow you come and say, no, you see, what will the farmer take? So we thought that is very good to go in that direction. Then the other last part of it is the source of where do these farmers get their seed, the germplasms, the livestock? This is very important.
Yes.
So we thought that it is very good that we, the farmers, can even produce our own seed. It is possible if we are mobilized. There are even seed which are called QDS, quality declared seed. It is very important. So we thought that by mobilizing ourselves, we can do so, and even building community seed banks. We've so far built community seed banks where the farmers take their seed through the farmer field schools, because we do participatory plant breeding, we do participatory plant enhancement, we do also participatory plant variety selection. The farmers themselves there, we partner with the National Research Organization, NARO, to make sure that what we are doing is qualified. It's not just from ourselves. So this is a success that through these community seed banks, now we can source seed which is safe to be planted, livestock which is safe to be propagated. So I can go on and on and on and on and on with the success which we are doing to make sure that we have safe products which are agroecological on the market. So basically I can stop there and come in later on another area. How do we support the agroecological trade to have products?
Well, I'll be getting back to you. You've mentioned quite a number of success stories that you've gone through, most of the seed bank. Now I want to go to the ministry. What steps are being put in place to ensure effectiveness, efficiency when we talk about cross-border trade and also the non-tariff barriers?
Thank you so much. The ministry and generally the whole of government has done quite a lot in terms of improving trade across the borders. As you might realize, maybe my sister there can affirm to this, since around 2010, there have been aggressive programs of government to address border infrastructure. And as you might have seen, most borders have been modernized and upgraded, both in terms of infrastructure, but also in terms of operations to one-stop border posts. As you might realize, these border posts have greatly increased the turnaround time in terms of doing trade and in terms of specifically international trade, import and export. Previously, maybe before 2010, I can tell you that it would take a truck about 2 weeks, a turnaround from Kampala to Mombasa and back. But now it can be a journey of 4 days, and the clearance time around the borders, less than, maybe if there is no jam, less than 30 minutes. So I think this has been a great improvement by government. We have all these OSBPs at Malaba, at Busia, we have SWAM, which has also been completed. We have at Mutukula, we have at Katuna, we have constructed at Mpondwe, Elegu, and Mirama Hills, among others. This is not only the OSBPs, but also the road infrastructure to these borders has been greatly improved. We have ensured that we put in both software that supports trade clearance of goods to ensure that it is so fast, modernize the customs processes. As you know, we work closely with URA, with the Ministry of Finance, to ensure that these processes are harmonized across the region. And I must say that most of the programs that we do as Uganda are also done across the region, because these are programs that we want to do to harmonize and promote trade as East Africa, but not only that, as COMESA, but also as African continental right now. As you might have heard, my sister mentioned that there is a problem of not implementing the simplified trade regime. This is a challenge which we are handling, but we know that within the East Africa trading, because we have a number of frameworks.
Maybe also briefly, of course, in the interest of time, but when you talk about the simplified trade regime, briefly try to explain on that. I know I have a question for her regarding that, but throw more light. What is this?
Yes, the simplified trade regime is a regime which was developed specifically for the small-scale cross-border traders, both within the ESC and at COMESA. We developed it to support to all address the challenges that these small-scale cross-border traders go through in terms of the thresholds. For example, if you have goods which do not exceed $2,000 USD, you can, but are originating from partner states, from member states, you can cross within the border without paying import duty. That is the threshold. But also we put in simplified clearance forms, simplified clearance certificates for these traders, so that they do not need to go through the rigorous processes of other big traders. We also put a specific desk for these traders to be assisted under what we call the trade information desk officers. So it is a targeted approach which is aimed at assisting the small-scale cross-border traders to also participate in trade across the borders. Like I said, it's because we recognize that they contribute enormously to both the trade development of the country in terms of exports, but also in terms of imports. So that regime, as she has rightly put, we had some challenges where at some borders, we know that some countries, our partner countries, are not recognizing, especially the thresholds. We know that sometimes there are operational challenges, if I can call them that, at the borders. But it's a continuous process that we continue engaging as ministry. We continue engaging with these border agencies to ensure that they implement it. We know it has happened that even a few days ago, actually the ministers of Kenya of Trade and the ministers of Uganda of Trade were at the border trying to address a number of non-tariff barriers, which was actually a big success. And among the issues that was raised is the non-implementation sometimes or the operational aspects of the simplified trade regime. We are now going to go back, ensure that we sensitize the people, operators, the traders, to ensure that this regime is respected across all the borders and implemented. We also noted that the non-tariff barriers which you talked about, there are very many at the border, and this even included, he talked of lunch hour breaks. These ones have since actually been eliminated, and now they work synchronized. They have synchronized their work programs to ensure that that jam you were talking about greatly reduces. We know that many times in trade there are non-tariff barriers that are both operational, infrastructure, and human. But we keep, as government, putting an eye and ensuring that it's a process that keeps on going. Every day, we talked of standards and non-harmonization of standards for goods and services. Specifically for goods, we have negotiated and harmonized about 2,500 standards. And these are standards that include even maize and other grain that my sister has talked about. Of course, despite that, even at the ministry, we have put in place a grain policy, which we are implementing. But we know that there are also challenges of aflatoxin that they have mentioned here, which is affecting specifically her sector. There is a standard on that at the East African community, which was adopted. The challenge is that we get a number of other people coming now and buying, and now I'm very glad that we have also now using this forum, and that there is a chemical they are adding into to quickly dry the maize, make the maize dry. We are also going to take it up and see how we can address it within the framework that we are going to develop for the Ministry of Local Government to ensure that we have those ordinances at the districts that prevent some of those occurrences. You know, trade people sometimes, and scrupulous traders come in, they bring in a number of tricks to ensure that they don't go through the right procedures and processes. But the processes are there, the standards are there, they're harmonized, but it is a continuous process that we keep engaging with our traders, with the operators, with the agencies at the borders to ensure that these challenges are fully addressed and the NTBs are fully addressed. We have a framework that addresses non-tariff barriers throughout at the up to the continental level. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement, one of the annexes is on addressing non-tariff barriers. But like my colleague has said, the chairman, this is a process that we need to be all-inclusive, working with all groups. We cannot achieve as government alone. We cannot have these policies implemented alone. We cannot have anything done as government alone if we do not continuously engage with our associations that are private sector driven. We know that I want to use the opportunity to thank His Excellency the President and the Excellency the President of Kenya. In July, they specifically made directives that all non-tariff barriers which are between Uganda and Kenya specifically be eliminated. And that is why the ministers drove there, the two ministers, and a lot has been achieved. But where there are challenges, we can always work together and ensure that they are addressed.
So, in a nutshell, so much is being done. Now, I want to bring in that Reda. You've been listening to the representative of the Commission. You're the people on the ground. Is it that? And he talked so much about the simplified trade regime. As small-scale traders here, are you aware of this? To what extent? If so, what are the challenges? Because this gives you almost a leeway to do business better.
Thank you so much. Yeah. What my brother is talking about is true. We have the simplified trade regime, and we have a certificate for the small-scale traders. It shows inside that certificate there is these are some of the features that are there. The origin of the good, they must be from East Africa. They must be below threshold of $2,000 US. It must have the debt. So those are some of the things. And we always go to the trade information desk officer for those ones who cannot read and write. So we appreciate the ministry because they have gone ahead at OSBP, the one-stop border point, and given us a desk. We have an office, and in our office there, we have gone. Let me say that we have clusters of or categories of women. We have 7 cooperatives, for example, who most of them use this simplified trade regime procedures. First of all, we have the Serious Traders Cooperative, that's Busia Women Cross-Border Serious Traders Cooperative. We have the ones that deal in eggs, Busia Women Cross-Border Eggs Traders Cooperative. We have the disability, people with PWDs. Several times they're not even considered. They face a lot of harassment. But now to disseminate this information to them and know that the ministry has simplified the work. So their challenges are not the same as the other people's challenges. The challenge of the one dealing in eggs is not the same challenge as the one dealing in produce or cereals. We have those one dealing in fruits and vegetables. Those things are perishable. So they also, they are handled. But the challenge we have is that there's a lot of bureaucracy. Sometimes, let me say, too much English. Yes, a layman cannot understand certain terminologies. So you must have somebody to interpret for you. And that's why we have porous borders. I'm not ashamed to talk about this. We have what we call panya routes. People go and smuggle, not because they cannot pay taxes, but because they're ignorant. And the officials, some of the officials, the customs, let me say the border officials facilitate the smuggling. How? They accept small bribes in those checkpoints. You put there kobole. Kobole means 20 shillings. That's Kenyan shillings. So when you go to Kenya, you pay kobole. When you come back to Uganda, you pay according to your luggage. The bigger the load, that's what you pay. And you find that when you come back to Uganda, there's a lot of harassment and challenges than Kenya. For them, they are direct. If he says, I want this, you give and you cross over. But in Uganda, even when you give, he calls another one. There's a rich person to do what? To eat. Yet in business, we are profit-oriented. So when he talks about the ministry coming in and simplifying trade, they are doing a lot. Only that we have new traders on board. Busia is a porous border. This one-stop border point, some of the uniforms of the customs or border officials scare them. So they prefer the porous. Several of them are ignorant. They don't know what to do. Others are told it's a narrative. It's a dominant narrative that you must smuggle to get profit. Actually, there is limited information. With the traders, they don't know where to get information. So that's why I would suggest that we would go and deliver the information to the grassroots, follow these structures, go. Like now we have another cooperative for clothes. Those people suffer a lot. We have a scanner there at the border. The scanner, no matter how much people talk, in the scanner they pay money. But the scan is just to scan and see for security purpose. But I wonder why the officials accept bribes. When any trader refuses to pay, they tag you. Either you have carried wrong goods, these goods that are not allowed to, they are prohibited goods. So they see a way of really harassing. Therefore, the traders are stressed. They are forced to pay the bribe. Let me say it's a bribe because you don't receive a receipt. Yes. So that is it. But the ministry is trying a lot. There's also a challenge at the border. When you look at clearing the goods, when one is disabled, disability does not mean only physical. I can be like this, but I'm disabled internally, but my disability you cannot see. We don't have a RAM. Going to clear your goods at URA, at Customs, Busia, one-stop border point, both Kenya and Uganda, we don't have a RAM. So how can a disabled person go there? One day one of the ministers came, he was disabled. Reaching up was hard, they just had to carry him. So it's a challenge. So that's also a non-tariff barrier. It deters trade. Then there is one thing which keeps on bothering us, the multiple taxes. You pay tax for the car, offloading and what. You pay local tax. You pay, you pay until you find that you're suffocated. Yes. So if there was a way of, putting them together, and we know that once I pay 10,000, I have cleared all. Yes. Then there's the worst challenge of people don't know about agroecological products. I appreciate ESAF Uganda. They have come to Busia, and now the information is being disseminated. Previously, before ESAF came, people were totally ignorant. They were asking, what is agroecological product? Are they bringing for us hizi vitu za wazungu? Hizi vitu za wazungu sisi hatutaki. The things of bazungus we don't want. But after ESA, Uganda, and after coming, they came to the ground, not to be told hearsay, no. They came and we went to the market. They saw what was happening. There's a challenge in post-harvesting and pre-harvesting handling. You find somebody drying maize or cassava on collars. When the sun hits, it melts. That's already contaminating the food. We have a challenge in storage. The storage part alone brings aflatoxin. We have a challenge in transportation. The packaging, the types of transporting things.
Well, due to time, I'm sorry I have to cut you short, but those are some of the challenges mentioned. And now I'll just have to give each of my guests a minute or two to have call for action or their parting shot. I know if time allows, sometime we'll have them back. And I want to begin with the gentleman from the ministries. Quite a few challenges noted. If within your concluding remarks you can reply to them, but please do it within 1 or 2 minutes.
As trade grows, challenges come up. Challenges also grow. But we keep handling them, not only as the Ministry of Trade, but as trade facilitation agencies that are responsible. The challenges that are currently being faced at the border, as mentioned, the borders are going to be, especially we're going to redesign those borders to make them more accommodative, to ensure that the traffic, we know that traffic has increased. Because of modernization, traffic has generally, and trade along those borders has increased. And therefore, we are going to be doing the modernization to ensure that it is in tandem with the growth in trade, actually forecasting the next over maybe 30 years, or maybe 30 years, to ensure that what we are planning for as government for the tenfold growth strategy, as I mentioned earlier, is taken care of in terms of expanding or making the trade processes very efficient, and not only the trade process, but also the laws and regulations that surround it, including the standards. We will continue to work with the private sector. We will continue to work with the associations. we'll continue to ensure that we as government work together and bonded and strengthen the synergies to ensure that we achieve the aspirations of our presidents in the coming 15 years. Thank you so much.
Wow, thank you so much, Emmanuel from the Ministry of Trade and also cooperatives and industries. Thank you so much for that commitment. That as things improve, definitely challenges will come, but along the way they work around the clock to see that everything is streamlined and life is easy for these small scale traders. Now to the farmer. Here we go in your concluding remarks, call for action or any observation in 1 or 2 minutes.
First of all, I can say that one of the achievements which I will put call to action, after seeing that there was a very big gap in people understanding what is agroecology and what is agroecological products, and even within the mother ministry, the Ministry of Agriculture, there was like people not looking at how can they harmonize the issues which are agroecological. We decided to come together as civil society organization and farmers networks and work with the Ministry of Agriculture to develop what we call the agroecology strategy. Because this strategy will harmonize all these issues. We are looking at post-harvest handling, addressing issues of aflatoxin. All those issues will be harmonized and worked upon there. So my call to action is that we as farmers organization and networks into this process, we will supported the process financially, physically, and it is at the ministry. So my call to action is for the ministry to fast track the approval of the National Agroecology Strategy. The Ministry of Agriculture, Animal Industries and Fisheries. Because it is with them, when this one is done, it will help us to streamline everything we want within. Then, since the National Development Plan 4 has been also approved, I call to that program-based approach for the ministry to stop working in silo. If the Ministry of Trade is implementing its activities, why is it that they are not working together with the Ministry of Agriculture when it comes to issues of what? So those two, I think they are very important, that it is done in holistically. Thank you everyone and the viewers, and I also send regards to my home people, my wife and children. Thank you very much, the host.
Wow, thank you for being part of this show. Zuhuru, let me have your parting shot.
Thank you so much. We as traders, we hope to disseminate information about standardization, then following the cross-border routes, not avoiding panya routes, that's the shortcuts, and also trying to go in agroecological products. And finally, we hope to source for financial support from other organizations. I also do appreciate ESAF Uganda, and send my regards to my children, my husband, and fellow traders. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you so much, lady and gentlemen. We've been looking at cross-border trade, but mostly looking at the small-scale farmers and enhancing cross-border trade in agroecological produce in Uganda and the East African region. Well, there is so much that you need to know. Continue interesting yourself. The show is done, but at least you've gotten information. And in the .com era, there is so much that you can do to keep yourself with what you need to know. Have the best of your day. May the good Lord bless you. See you tomorrow, God willing.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala. This is Good Morning Uganda Extra.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day,